Planning is underway for a getaway in Northern Virginia.
Flashlight, gloves.
But not the type of journey that instantly brings joy.
First aid kits.
For these women, this packing evokes a lot of pain.
If I smell something, it may trigger it. If I hear a song, it may trigger it, and it'll take me to that dark place.
It kind of opens it up and brings it back to life on what you went through to get out yourself.
Misty Turner and Samantha Lawson are survivors of domestic violence. They recall relentless abuse at the hands of an ex-boyfriend several years ago. Abuse, even while pregnant, and to their children. Despite the horror, they say fear and isolation made it tough to figure out how to get out.
I was scared that he would kill me and my daughter would be left alone.
A family member actually said, if you made him happy, he wouldn't have to do this. He would not have to hit you. He would not have to choke you.
Turner and Lawson say it became a matter of life and death. Both eventually ran away from their abuser with practically nothing. Which is why they started the PACT project to give other victims a better chance at survival. After work, they're loading backpacks with all the essentials, like a cell phone, toiletries, gift cards for food, and a hotel.
We want to make it to where they can actually run out of the house if they have to, and they'll know where that backpack is to be able to go and pick it up.
They started this project during the pandemic after getting more requests for help from people like this woman who is still emotionally and physically fraught.
He ended up beating me that night. He beat and hit and pulled and kicked every part of my body over the next 4 to 5 hours, except for my stomach, because I was pregnant with his child.
Some police departments in our region are seeing a steady number of reported domestic violence cases on par with last year. But the Fairfax County Police Department is extremely concerned, especially with the holidays ahead.
Lorenzo, that's what worries us. We're getting into what's traditionally the busy season of domestic violence.
Major Ed O'Carroll says it's already been a bad year. At least 6 of the county's 19 murders have been domestic.
Something's different in 2021. What I'm seeing these days is brutal violence. Some of our victims are not shot once, it's dozens of times. They're not stabbed 5 times. You know, we have cases where people are stabbed 50.
Major O'Carroll says they're not just seeing violence tied to romantic relationships, but friends and family. For instance, a 33-year-old accused of murdering his mother and sister in Burke, a 19-year-old charged with murdering his 78-year-old father and burying his body in the backyard, and a 72-year-old woman killed, according to police earlier this year, by someone who once lived in her home.
Hearing about these cases and these new trends, the question is always going to be why?
The verdict is still out on why. I think we can guess some of the reasons. You know, COVID, the pandemic and the isolation, might have a certain amount of stress that is driving people to do these things.
Major O'Carroll emphasizes this problem is on all of us.
Statistically, we might have another one. Now is a perfect time to check on a neighbor, check on a relative, do a pulse check on, how we as a community deal with anger.
At the PACT project, still in its infancy, they're dropping off at least 5 bags a week throughout Northern Virginia. Lawson and Turner say if any relationship feels dangerously off, heed the warning now and get help.
That saved my life. It did.